Hello and welcome back to Nerd Doc. This video is a review of the Netflix series The Cuphead Show, based on the Cuphead game originally released back in 2017. This review is mostly spoiler-free. We'll only talk about some of the basic plot points and won't dive into specifics that would ruin the show for anyone who hasn't seen it. If you are looking for spoilers, you can find our ending explained video linked below, as well as any of our other Cuphead videos. First, let's start with the vitals. Season 1 of The Cuphead Show consists of 12 episodes. Not including credits, each episode runs about 12 minutes in length. The series debuts on Netflix on Friday, February 18th, which means you can stay up late Thursday night and catch it at midnight Pacific. Chad and Jared Moldenhauer, creators of the game, are executive producers on the show, with Amanda Fernandez handling art direction and Ego Plum doing the music. There are no post-credit scenes for any of the episodes. The Cuphead Show follows Cuphead and his brother Mugman as they go on adventures throughout the Inkwell Isles. It uses the game as heavy inspiration, with the rubber hose animation style matching the game in every way, and almost every character and location either directly taken from the game or extending beyond what was originally featured in the game. If you've played Cuphead, while the animation style gives it a unique personality, you don't get much actual personality from the characters. The devil and his right-hand man, King Dice, get a bit of personality toward the end of the game, but otherwise it was left up to the creative team and voice actors of the show to bring many of the characters in the game to life. For the most part, they did this pretty well. King Dice and the devil aren't quite as sinister as they're depicted in the video game, but they are still the main antagonists of the show, and definitely not nice people. Cuphead and Mugman's personalities play more into what you'd get from cartoon characters of the 1930s that define the retro animation style of Cuphead, rather than their more heroic nature from the video game. In the show, Cuphead is impulsive and throws caution to the wind, while Mugman tries to have his back, being the more risk-averse brother and trying to keep them out of trouble. If you've seen the Cuphead Show trailers, you know many of the bosses from the game show up throughout the cartoon. But instead of heroes playing through a game with a singular goal, the show is more in line with 1930s cartoons. While there's a general plot that runs through the first season, many of the episodes are standalone and don't directly relate to each other or the general plot. This allows viewers to watch at their leisure without fear of being spoiled too much, but it does weaken the underlying plot of the show. By the end of Season 1, you're left wondering if the creative team should have spent more time on advancing the plot instead of random adventures. It definitely would have been nice to see the Cuphead Show follow the game a bit more closely. While most of the characters, bosses, and stages are represented, Cuphead and Mugman aren't really heroes like they are in the game, and you don't see any kind of combat like you would in the video game. The trademark gameplay and difficulty of the video game are barely represented in the show. There's still plenty to enjoy about the Cuphead Show, especially if you're a fan of the 1930s cartoons and that animation style. If you're looking for some quick fun, you'll definitely get that from the show, but if you're looking for something with a bit more depth, or that follow the loose plot of the game a bit more, you won't find that in Season 1. There is a pretty good indication that we'll get a second season, so that might add more to the plot development of the show, but for now it's a quick nod to the game, and not much depth beyond that. We here at Nerd Doc give the Cuphead Show 3 out of 5 dice. That wraps up this review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who loves Cuphead.